Okay, it's April 15th, 2013. Here's my review for 42 movie. You might be listening to this on Wild Sound Movies website, or you can follow the link where you can read the review of Joshua Starnes. I like this movie a lot better than Joshua did. And in these movies, which even makes it even more interesting, is that I know everything about Jackie Robinson. I've read Branch Rickey's 800-page biography. I've read 4 versions of Jackie Robinson's story in autobiographies. I've watched all the documentaries. Ken Burns is a good one at that. And so I know the story pretty well. So let's take this at 3 kind of tiers, where basically 42 is a movie about an iconic person based on a true story. So a la Lincoln, a la Muhammad Ali, a la Margaret Thatcher, whatever you want to call it. Iconic person, true story. It's also a baseball movie. Let's not forget that. It's a baseball movie, and baseball movies has its own generation. Even this site has top 100 baseball movies of all time. So, which 42 made the list, by the way. And then you got movie as a whole. So just basically a movie review as a whole. So let's take it to the iconic person. Iconic characters who are very famous in a very famous way, like Abraham Lincoln. Perfect example, is easier to do than, say, Margaret Thatcher, Margaret Thatcher was polarizing. More people hated her than liked her. So it's easy to do a iconic character study, a biopic movie about Margaret Thatcher than it is on Jackie Robinson, because Jackie Robinson is so beloved, but he's also a human being. So you got to find that fine line of like giving him a human subject, but also still making him iconic at the same time. And they did the same thing as Abraham Lincoln movies, where instead of telling a whole story about the journey of this man, let's just go into the time. We're from 1945 to 1947, where he's playing the Nigger Leagues until he integrates himself into the major leagues in 47. That's his story, because that's his iconic way. The more interesting part maybe could be in his late 60s and 70s, where he became bitter and angry. His son died in Vietnam, all that kind of stuff. But the true to its form, that's what the movie's about. And basically, it's kind of cool the way they do it, where there's really not much. Like I always say that you have to be a dramatist sometimes when you do the biopics, but really if you read all the Jackie Robinson books and hear all the stories, they really take the stories and put it in the movie in its own kind of unique way. I think this is a really good movie. It stayed with me for a long time, and the way they did it was very cool in a way, where they just did it in like certain segments, and they didn't really try to hit you over the head with like how to feel good about yourself, whatever. They just gave you little anecdotes of what Jackie Robinson went through those 3 years. So there's about 30 scenes in the movie, say for example, in an hour and almost like a 2-hour movie. So you're basically pacing out the 30 scenes, the 30 most important moments of Jackie Robinson's life between those 2 eras. And of course the theme is about equality, and about after the World War II, and about integration, about people just being themselves. And you can use the relation to the anti-Semitic person, or to someone who's homophobic in 2013. So it's got that story that's going to stand the test of time for a long time. It's a good movie. Then it's also a baseball movie that, to all the purists out there, like the baseball scenes are done really well, and it shows for people like the person I was with is not a baseball fan at all, but it made them intrigued in the game itself. And then of course the movie as a whole, it kind of has a unique style to it, but I like this movie. I think it's the best movie of the year so far. Of course, it's only in April, but I think this movie's that great, and I don't understand some of the reviewers who think it's lukewarm at best, but because it isn't. And I'm just being elitist here, but this movie's pretty damn good, and everybody should see it. That's my review.